Okay, so we have our first example problem. We have a tree, and it casts a shadow 15 meters long, and it makes a 35-degree angle with the top of the tree. So the question is, how tall is the tree? So to start this problem, we have to take a look at the triangle. So I've got a 90-degree angle here. Okay, so this is a right triangle, and therefore I can use trig. So trigonometry, I need to pick my trig function that's going to work. And so I try to remember SOHCAHTOA. And I'm going to try to figure out what trig function I need in order to figure out how tall this side is. I'm going to mark it with an X so that I know that's the side I'm trying to solve. So, what information do we have? Well, looking at this angle, okay, remember in all trig problems we're going to have an angle of interest, so this is our 35-degree angle. Okay, and what do we have? Well, we have the 15-meter long shadow, which represents the side right next to the angle. So that's the adjacent side. So I will label that the adjacent side of my triangle, okay? And I don't really care about the hypotenuse, which is the big long one. They're not asking me anything about it. I don't really need it. But what I do need is this side, which is the furthest one away from the angle, which means it's the opposite side. So I will label that opposite side, okay? So I have the adjacent side and the angle, and I want the opposite side. Well, what trig function connects those three things, okay? So sine would be my first option. It would connect the opposite side to the hypotenuse. Well, we don't really care about the hypotenuse, so sine is not going to work. Cosine, again, we have the adjacent side, which is good, but the hypotenuse is not something we're interested in, so cosine is not going to work. That only leaves tangent. Tangent connects the opposite and the adjacent side, which are the two sides we either have or care about. So we're going to use tangent. So I set up the equation. Tangent of my angle is equal to the opposite side, which I don't know, so I'm going to leave it as x, divided by the adjacent side, which I do know, 15 meters. Okay? And so I'm going to plug in my angle, which is 35 degrees. So tangent of 35 degrees, okay, is going to be equal to x over 15 meters. Okay, which means I gotta solve for x. So I want to get rid of this 15 meters here on the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by 15 meters. And so I get 15 meters times tangent of 35 degrees is going to give me x, which is the length or the height of my tree, okay? And so I need to figure out what this is. And so for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my calculator. Most calculators have a section where you can see the trig functions. This is sine, cosine, and tangent. So we're using tangent. What I'm going to do is I'm going to type in, my calculator's not even on, there we go. I'm going to type in 15 times tangent of 35. Okay, I'm going to close that parenthesis, and therefore I'm going to hit equal. And so my answer is 10.5. Okay, some extra stuff at the end, but at that point it's too little to worry about. So we get that 10.5 meters, I gotta remember my units, is equal to x, which is the height of the tree. So the tree is 10.5 meters tall. If you guys feel like you want or need any more additional practice in the subject of this video, I put a link in the description to a couple practice problems and the solutions explained as best I can. So go ahead and check those out for some extra practice.